Hey there, and a huge welcome to our new teachers. This explainer is going to be your go-to guide for really understanding and mastering the daily rhythm of our Montessori classrooms. We're going to break down the entire work cycle so you have all the tools and confidence you need to create an absolutely amazing learning environment.
Okay, let's dive right in. Think of this as your roadmap. We're starting with our core philosophy. Then we'll walk through a day at each level, get you to master our core writing technique, show you how to track student progress, and finally introduce you to your support team.
First things first, let's talk about the why. Understanding our core philosophy is so essential because it's the foundation for, everything we do. It shapes every interaction, every lesson, every single day.
So what are we trying to build here? It really boils down to these things. Every single activity is designed to build up these 5 qualities in our students. We're aiming for true, active listening, self-discipline, and of course, that amazing sense of independence. And the way we get there is through consistent revision and these focused 20-minute work cycles, which really give kids the space to get lost in their work.
All right, let's see this philosophy in action. We're going to walk through a typical day for our youngest students in Montessori 1. This is where we lay that all-important groundwork for a whole lifetime of learning.
This schedule, this is the heartbeat of your classroom. We kick things off at 9 a.m. with concept laying. Then at 9:30, we're diving into logical thinking with activities like matching, sorting, and ordering, maybe sorting little animal figures or matching up flashcards. It's all intentionally designed, one block building on the next to develop those crucial skills.
Okay, let's zoom in on the fine motor block, because this is where the magic really starts to happen. When you see a child stringing beads, or carefully sorting buttons, or trying to figure out laces, that's not just play. It is absolutely essential for building the hand-eye coordination and that little pincer grasp they're going to need for writing.
Our sensorial materials are, iconic, and how you present them is key. The method is always the same, whether it's the pink tower, the brown stairs, or the long rods. First, you introduce the idea, like big and small. Then you very slowly and deliberately show them how it's done. And then comes the most important part. You step back, invite the child to try, and just observe. The goal is their discovery, not your instruction.
Believe it or not, lunchtime might just be the most important lesson you teach all day. It is a total masterclass in practical life skills. The routine is always the same. We have a moment for prayer, we wash our hands, we practice good table manners, and then, this is huge, we take responsibility for cleaning our own space and putting our things away. It builds incredible independence.
And we end the day by getting all that energy out with joyful, purposeful movement. Gross motor play on the swings or slide, or playing ball games, it's absolutely essential for developing those large muscle groups, coordination, and, of course, learning how to play together. Okay, so that's Montessori 1. Now what happens when they get a little older? Let's take a look at how the whole structure evolves for our students in Montessori 2 and 3, where we introduce a more formal academic work cycle. So here's the big shift you need to understand. The philosophy of independence is still the bedrock, but we pivot from those foundational skills of M1 to more structured academics. For M2, we're really focusing on recognizing letters and numbers. By M3, we're building on that. They're starting to form sentences and tackle more complex math.
Every single academic day starts with circle time. And this isn't just a formality, it's so important for centering the kids and getting them ready to learn. It's this wonderfully inclusive and calming sequence. The Om chant, a prayer, a fun attendance drill, and a little chat about the weather, just to make sure every child feels seen and included from the very start.
Now this is a game changer. I want you to really pay attention to this flow. We do our English lesson, then we recall what we learned. But then, and this is the secret sauce, we have a short, energetic English rhyme break. It's a total reset. It clears their heads before we smoothly transition into our Hindi lesson, where we follow the exact same super effective pattern.
All right, let's get to the real powerhouse of your teaching toolkit. This is the LSCWC method. It's how we introduce every single written character. Doesn't matter if it's an English letter, a number, or a Hindi akshar.
So, what on earth is LSCW? It stands for Look, See, Cover, Write, Check. And trust me, it is so much more than just copying. It's a multi-sensory process that actually forces the brain to create a picture of the character, building powerful muscle memory that makes recognition almost automatic.
Let's walk through it together. Imagine the letter A. First, the student will look at it on a flashcard. Then, they close their eyes and see that A in their mind's eye. Next, they cover up the flashcard. Then they try to write the A from memory. And finally, they check their work against the original. This 5-step sequence is non-negotiable and it is incredibly effective.
And this is just brilliant. We never, ever just hand a child a pencil and say, "Write." We start big with gross motor movements, tracing the letter in the air. You want them to use their whole arm. From there, we move to a chalkboard or whiteboard, and only then, once they have that muscle memory, do they start working on the fine motor control needed for writing in a notebook.
So the kids are doing all this amazing work, but how do we know what's sticking? How do we track that growth? It is so vital to observe and document it, so let's look at how you'll track each child's unique journey.
Now, don't worry, this doesn't have to be complicated. A simple log like this is your best friend. It's not about endless data entry. It's about capturing a quick snapshot, the date, what they were doing, and where they are on that journey, whether they need a little help or working independently or are totally mastering it. Over time, this simple log tells a powerful story of growth. And here is a golden rule for pacing that will save you so much stress. When we introduce a new letter or number, we dedicate 3 full days to it. Day 1 is the introduction. Day 2 is all about recalling it. Day 3 is for practice. This 3-day cycle is so important for building mastery and making sure no one gets left behind.
And finally, last but definitely not least, I really want you to hear this. You are not on an island. You are part of a dedicated, supportive team. So let's look at the leadership structure that's here to help you succeed.
So this is your yourself because it captures everything. Every single structure we've talked about, the schedule, the methods, the environment, it all points to this one beautiful goal, to build such deep independence in our students that they can thrive all on their own.
So as you begin this incredible journey, here's my question for you. Think about it as you set up your room and meet your students. Maybe it's zipping up a jacket, or maybe it's building that pink tower all by themselves for the first time. Whatever it is, celebrating that first step toward independence is where it all begins.